I think this combination just helps me keep happier. The underlying factor is that they need to do their market research before they get into. And I went to the court and I tried to argue with the judge. It didn't go well.
Hello everyone. My name is Khushi Khandelwal and I am a placement convener for School of Law, Christ University, Pune Lavasa campus. So today with us we have Ms. Dhanya Sree, who is a director at Stealth Mode and also a general counsel for Most Finance. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us.
Thank you, Khushi. It's exciting to be here.
Thank you, ma'am. So to begin with, could you tell us about how your professional journey evolved and what are the key lessons that you have learned throughout your journey, ma'am?
Yes, my professional journey started back in 2016 when I started my litigation practice in Kochi, Kerala. I've been doing that for about 2 years or 2.5 years until 2017 when I moved into setting up my own boutique law firm along with some other partners. I was the only associate on ground actually, and managing some aspects of entertainment law and media and IP as well then. And it ran for 10 months, didn't work out for any of us. And at that point, I decided to make a move and a switch to a different career option, like country-wise. And I moved to Dubai in 2019. I started off with a law firm, a local law firm in UAE, and I was mostly focused on a pharma company, with a pharma company, US company, which is a Fortune 100 company. And 70% of my time I was investing with them as an exclusive legal consultant, and the rest I was also exploring the legal aspects of UAE, working with the law firm to understand and help them with the litigation matter. So I continued doing this for about 2 years. And after that, I was called in to be in-house a role with a pharma company on a secondment for 1 year. And after that, I decided to make a move from pharma to fintech. And at that point, I got an opportunity with a boutique law firm in UAE, which was exclusively working on the fintech side of things. And that's when the career span started, or it was a turning point for me to move in from pharma and whatever I was doing before, the general corporate commercial, to the fintech side. So this boutique law firm, so they had offices in Lebanon, Saudi, and Dubai. So Dubai, I was the first hire, and it was challenging, of course, because I had to, managing partner was there, of course, but it was a very lean team, me and him, and some admin staff and paralegal. The rest of the team were placed in other countries, and they were mostly Arab speaking. So I had to rely on myself and my research capacity to work with the clients, and we had quite a number of good clients actually. We had like Nasdaq listed startups, unicorn startups. We were handling a lot of regulatory filings with the regulatory authorities in UAE and abroad. And at some point, I was almost handling like 25 projects by myself, which was a little bit too much, but it actually helped me to learn a lot about the sector from scratch. So there were like components that was very new to me on the regulatory compliance or even the policy preparation and even some new aspects. So I was very familiar with the data protection privacy even before that, like because I was with a pharma company and US compliance on these are, even they had offices in EU, so I had to comply with or look into the GDPR and everything. But here I looked into, I had to encounter a lot of new subjects like cybersecurity or even like how technology is being managed, and even the business side of things like preparing some business plan, process flow modules, operational side of things. So it was quite challenging for me. At the same time, I think it just made me realize there's so much that we can learn, and it's not just the legal side that you need to stick with that only, so you can explore everything outside of it, and it would be amazing. And it was an amazing journey. So I was with the law firm, I was handling clients, were quite happy, I assume, as they say. And then I got this opportunity with this current project where I moved in as the general counsel role. And this is mostly on the crypto side. So there are multiple products that we are launching parallelly. So crypto brokerage, crypto exchange, prepaid cards, wallets, and we even have like a software segment where we would develop our own IP. We managed to license it, like software-based contracts and everything. And there are a couple of other projects going on in parallelly, which unfortunately I cannot disclose much because of confidentiality. But altogether, this was my legal journey, and I believe it just helped me in a way that I went through a lot of roads to reach here. which helped me to learn a bunch of skills, which happened because I was in different sectors, working with different people in different countries, and I think that that was a key aspect of the takeaway from my career. If you should ask me, to be able to work in different segments initially, and then find your niche, and then you need to explore a bit more. That's what I'm doing now. So I'm not just sticking with the legal part. I'm also involved in the operational side a bit, with the finance and the audit part and everything, and even the cybersecurity and all of
Yes,
those. So I think this combination just helps me keep happier in my role, I would say. Yeah.
that's really inspiring, ma'am,
Thank
because
you.
young generation like us really want to explore more. And when it comes to law, we are only stick to that one particular aspect. But it is really nice to hear that we can explore more.
Yeah, and I think that's a concept, right? Everybody says you study something and you need to stick with it, but I believe it's not like that, right? There's always the option, and if you like something, you need to explore it. You need to not just explore and start with it, but you need to also upskill that there. Like, for example, if you want to pivot to finance or something related to operational, you also need to look into parallelly while getting the experience. My recommendations that you would also need to look into what kind of upskilling that you can do, like taking additional courses or doing additional mentorship or skills.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I believe that's also important. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So the next question is, as a guest faculty and a mentor for Christ University, how has your experience been here?
Honestly, this is really amazing. So I've been actually mentoring few universities so far, couple of students as well on a personal basis. So far, this is one of the most organized event that I've, because every time, yes, there are organizations, everything is amazing, students are curious, it's common, but here I believe the difference was also that I've been in this campus, and it's really nice. It's really quiet. It just cleared my mind, and this is something I needed, because from the hectic life, I think this was a getaway for me, and I really enjoyed it. And the faculty is amazing. I would have to thank everybody for hosting me here, and you and the committee and everybody. It was very seamless for me. And also, students were surprisingly, because the previous sessions I attend with our schools, they're a bit shy in asking questions. I believe I get them, right? So sometimes you're not confident to ask questions, but I never felt that here. So I was also a bit on skeptical and a bit scared, I would say, to have, like, my session was this one was about 3.5 4 hours
Yes, ma'am.
long. So for me, I was a bit worried I would bore them. This is a very new topic, and it's also a bit technical, but I had so much engagement from students, like really good questions as well, which made me realize, like, even and I know that you guys didn't have the subject in your curriculum. It could be probably the first time you're
Yeah,
hearing about
yes,
it,
ma'am.
but still, like, the kind of questions, it shows that they're curious on, and that's a good quality. So I really enjoyed it, and I hope to come back again. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Surely you would be back in campus. So the next question is, a lot of fellow students want to get into entrepreneurship. So how would you suggest them? What are the basic hurdles that they might face, and how would your words inspire them to go ahead with this?
uh, Entrepreneurship as in law firm,
Yes,
or
ma'am. Startups for law firm or
or
anything.
anything,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
So I'm a firm believer. So initially, when I started my practice, I was not thinking about starting something. I was thinking there was always some risk involved, which would be true.
True.
But I was, like, not confident if I need to make that step. But now, considering I've pivoted a little bit on the operational side, and I enjoy the freedom that it brings me. And of course, there's a stress level, or some questions that there's some level of responsibility that comes with it. But I think the freedom, and it's unmatched, honestly. And I would suggest, like, nowadays in this generation and going forward, 9 to 5 is not the solution at all.
Yes.
So I believe entrepreneur skills are really important. Even when you're practicing as a lawyer, these skills, this commercial sense, I would say, would help you, because when you're working for the company, you need to be aware what you're protecting.
Yes, ma'am.
And for that, you need to understand the business. You need to understand the risk. And it's the same when you're starting something, right? So basically, there are a lot of aspects that you need to put together to start with. What are the products or services you're selling? What's the thing that would demarcate your services or goods, right? So there are, like, most of services are very common. If you take law firms,
Yes.
um, too many law firms, everybody wants to start, but what would make you stand out? So that particular, you know mark. So how do you establish that, and how do you get your first client, right? What is your selling point? So there are a lot of things that you need to figure out. And then there would be questions on how investments can be sourced. Are you going to fund it? Are you going to have like external investments? And then you also need a proper team, because to scale a business, it's not just one person doing the job. It can work for like 2 3 clients, but beyond that. And that's the case for law firm. But if you're into some other business like running a restaurant, you need more people initially as well. So how to build the team, how to retain them. And I believe of all this, I'm not confused at all when I say that human resource management is the most complex, most complex element. You can have best lawyers and sort out things for you. You can have finances, investors, but to retain people, your team, good quality team, I think that's the most challenging aspect. And then obviously how to scale it up to next notch, like how do you expand your business, how do you partner with others, how do you select your providers. So there are too many aspects. For students, I believe they need to the underlying factors that they need to do their market research before they get into, as to why they want to do the business, what is the gap in the market that they want to fill, right? So that study is important. And if they see that there's a gap in the market, I believe that's when they need to step in, and they need to actually see how they can fill that void, and what kind of services that they can give, and how they can retain the client. So everybody, most of business I've seen, they are after getting more clients. So they go client after client. But my ideology about business is slightly different. You need more clients, yes, but the key factor is do not lose your existing clients. So because see, when you go purely for marketing, you lose the essence of the actual service. And if you come to do that, new clients will not happen, old clients will leave, and that's not the best situation for business. So I think you need to always focus on the quality of work and the existing clients. And then they'll spread the word for you. It's going to be an organic growth, for sure.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That is really important to understand, because human resource management is something that is very important when it comes to startups or something.
I know. And startups generally don't have the capacity to engage HR manager or somebody professional. Sometimes I've seen like people are handling it by themselves, but still they need to have some basic idea of like how to deal with people, on what basis they can hire, what qualities they need to look, the KPIs that they need to set in, and everything. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So the next question would be like, how was your experience in Lavasa, being such a quiet city?
It's amazing. I love quiet cities. I love mountains. I love rain. So I think this was a perfect combination, and it was really exciting. More that I could meet with you guys. Like it makes me feel like back to college again, some way or the other. And I'm very keen, right? For me, like it's always important to give back, because I never had this sort of mentorship growing up much. Obviously, I had some mentors, but not like a lot of opportunities. So I always wanted to make it easy, like if possible, for others. And I think for me, that's an important value. And I believe the campus is themselves supporting when I put this idea forward. Like there was no hesitation. They were like, okay, let's do it. So I believe I like that attitude. Like it's more like go get it sort of thing. And I think that would really pay off well. And Lavasa is an amazing city. It's quiet. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. So the next question is, you have received multiple awards and your moot court competition you have won. So how those small wins have made you a better person when it comes today? Like how has your journey
I
been?
think we always need to appreciate the small wins, because there's no way that you have to wait for a big win to celebrate. So everything's small, right? So today I had the sessions, and well, I'm happy, right? So it's always the small things that motivates you to do bigger things. And for me, moot court back in I studied in a government funded college. So I believe that was one of the key getaways for me, because it was one way that I could get more knowledge, more experience, more exposure out of the university. And for me, I believe when I was a student, I made full use of it. Like I believe there was a stage when most of the professors hated me because I didn't turn up to the classes, and I was actually doing my moot court research apparently, and they didn't believe me. So they were like, okay, you can't skip classes anymore. So that there were situations. So I enjoyed reading, I enjoyed drafting, and it was much harder back then, right? It was in between 2010 and 15, and obviously we had the computer labs and everything, some access to SEC and everything, but still, like it was quite limited. Like you still rely on books and draft things. So it was a very hands-on situation, and I enjoyed it, and I was mostly speakers for most of the moot courts, and for me, it just also helped me to gain that confidence, sorry, and also it just helped me to pick up a newfound interest in litigation back then. So I was like, oh, this is cool. So I was under very wrong perception that the actual courts would be like that. I was so excited, like so encouraged to be like, okay, this is what I want to do. And I went to the court and I tried to argue with the judge. It didn't go well at all. But honestly, it helped me a lot. It honed my research skills, drafting skills, and obviously my speaking skills as well.
So basically, extracurricular will always give you upper hand over
It does actually. Just that you need to be choosing what you want to do, right?
Work
And
for.
sometimes you will pick up something, and then you pick up some interest in some other thing. So either you can do both, or you can focus on what you want. But it always pays off. And I think uh, my advice is that life is not just about studying alone, right? So there should be some other stuff which would
Help you.
contribute you. It could be mood code, it could be music, it could be dance, like something that would help you to, learn more.
Yes, ma'am.
Need not be academic always, but then it just helps you altogether in the group.
That's incredible, ma'am. Before we close, any advice you would like to give or share with young law students?
A lot, but I think the takeaway for me always is that whatever you want, right? So people have this issue, right? They stumble upon a hurdle, and I think I've seen this almost in the young lawyers, and I think it's not going to go away because these days the competition is so high, the accessibility is so high, people are not sure how to take rejections.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a very big issue. So people get disheartened, they give up. And I believe the advice would be that it's never a solution. So you can try. One door closes, thousand open. So I'm a firm believer that whatever happened in my life is for kids. So if there's something that, like for example, when I was in the university, I interviewed with one of the top firms in Kochi for a job and didn't get through. But imagine if I were there, I wouldn't have half the experience I
Different.
had
Life
now.
would be different.
I mean, back then it might have sounded like a big deal, like, but for me, it just worked out well, and I think that's the case for everyone. So there would be one door, five door, 100 door closing, but there would be thousand other opportunities because as much as there's competition, there are opportunities as well. So it's just be wise about it and make sure you're choosing what's important for you in the next 5 years, not immediate. So
Yes,
yeah.
ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. It
No,
was
it
great
was
to
a
meet you, and it
pleasure.
was a
Thank
pleasure
you.
talking to you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.